Cinnamon rolls will warm up your soul. Is it cold outside? Feeling down? Want to show someone how much you care? Or do you just love to hear other people say, "What the fuck, you make cinnamon rolls from scratch?" Are you willing to spend 3 or more hours to make this? I mean, it's worth it. Just look at it. Ingredients. For the dough, you'll need 1 cup of warm milk, 1 packet of active dry yeast, 2 large eggs at room temperature, 5 tablespoons of softened butter, 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I used whole wheat in this recipe. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of coconut milk. For the filling, you'll need 1 stick of butter, room temperature, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. For the frosting, you'll need 6 ounces of softened cream cheese, 5 tablespoons of softened butter, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Preparing the yeast. Warm 1 cup of milk to 105 to 112 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 packet of active dry yeast. Mix well to dissolve the sugar and wet out the yeast. Allow the mixture to rest for 5 minutes. This is what the yeast will look like once it's activated. Now we can begin the dough. Add the milk and activated yeast into a large mixing bowl. Add 1/2 cup of sugar. Mix to dissolve the sugar into the milk and activated yeast mixture. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Add 5 tablespoons of room temperature butter and 2 large room temperature eggs. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix thoroughly. Add 4 cups of flour. Measure the flour by spooning flour into the measuring cup. Do not pack it or you will have too much flour. Mix until a dough is formed. Form the dough into a ball at the bottom of the bowl. Oil the bowl. Cover with a clean kitchen towel. The dough will need to rise for 30 to 60 minutes. Let's move on to the filling. For the filling, add 1 stick of room temperature softened butter, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. Blend this together with a fork, ensuring that you break up any lumps in the brown sugar and mix the cinnamon throughout. You can see how it's really starting to come together now into one cohesive mix. Back to the dough. You can see how much the dough has risen. Now it's ready to be rolled out. Sprinkle flour generously the area where you will be rolling out the dough. Coat your rolling pin with flour, as this dough is very sticky. Place the dough onto your floured work area and begin to work the dough. Roll out the dough until it is a large rectangle about the size of a baking sheet. Now it's time to fill the cinnamon rolls. Pour the filling onto the dough and spread it all around over the dough. Now it's time for the rolls. Roll it up tightly, but not too tight. Don't want to stretch the dough. You want a nice, tight, firm roll that will hold together and keep the filling inside. Now slice the roll into smaller pieces so that you have somewhere between 12 and 15 cinnamon rolls. I make mine about 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters thick. Now put the cinnamon rolls into a greased 9.5 inch by 13 inch pan. Here you can see me make the classic mistake of overcrowding the pan. I put my cinnamon rolls in the pan too tightly together so they do not have room to evenly expand during the second rise. Cover the rolls and allow them to rise for 30 to 60 minutes. Preheat your oven. Time for frosting. Add 6 ounces of softened cream cheese and 5 tablespoons of softened butter and 2 cups of powdered sugar. Combine ingredients thoroughly. Here I'm using an electric hand mixer, but you can also use a fork. This mixture will be very thick. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix. Back to the cinnamon rolls. This is the last step before they go into the oven. Pour 1/2 cup of warmed coconut milk, or half and half, over the cinnamon rolls. This step is the magic step that makes these cinnamon rolls so moist and flavorful. Bake for 20 minutes. Look at these beauties. They smell amazing. Let's add some frosting. We put a little stripe of frosting across the cinnamon roll. Maybe some dripping off the side. Oh, it looks so good. Who am I kidding? Let's just put more frosting on there. There's no such thing as enough frosting. Just look at these cinnamon rolls. They're moist, sweet, sticky, and delicious. What are you waiting for? Get to baking.